What is up, QC fam? It is Queen Chef, chef, author, healer. I am a chef by trade, a writer by gift, and a healer by nature. I basically help to facilitate healing by teaching people strategies based in self-love, based in energy alignment, addressing inner child wounds, and with purpose discovery. So, now that we got that out of the way, what I want to talk about tonight is basically the ways to identify. Yes, I'm getting straight into it because this is going to be quick. This is going to be a quick live. 4 ways to identify when you're ready for healing, ways that you know you're ready. And this is, let me say, there are other ways, but this is 4 very clear ways to know that you're at least in the right mental, or you're getting in the right mental and emotional space to begin a healing journey. Because let's be real, everybody's not always ready. Sometimes you think you're ready, and then as you begin the process, you back out, kind of. You know what I mean? So that being said, one of the first things is first acknowledging that something is the matter. Like, I'm hesitant to say wrong because people tend to feel like, I used to ask the question myself and I hated it until I learned better. You tend to ask yourself things like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Why does this always happen? Like, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with the why question, but when you're asking what is wrong with me, it puts the wrong idea inside of you. It puts the wrong, it's just the wrong terminology to use. You don't necessarily want to know what's wrong with you, but we know something is the matter. Things are going wrong, whether it be relationships. And when I say relationships, I want y'all to know, because I've had platonic relationships go just wrong based on the need for healing. So, I'm not always talking about romantic relationships. I'm not always talking about girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife. So let's be clear. Just knowing that if something is always going wrong, whether it be in relationships, on jobs, when you interact with people, just in life in general, that acknowledgement that something is the matter here in my life, in my space, in my energy, something is the matter. That's number 1. If you can admit that and acknowledge that, you're on the right path. Now, the second thing is more like when you reach that point of, now you know something is wrong, but when you reach that point of like, enough is enough. Like, you're tired. And I don't mean just tired, like sick and tired, but it's really like enough is enough and I can do something about this. That acknowledgement that life is not just happening to you, but you can actually do something to change or to fix the things that are going wrong in your life. That's another good step. That is a very good second step. That acknowledgement that you are capable enough, you're smart enough, and you know how to figure out, or you're at least willing to go and figure out what is going on and what is causing this haywire, what is causing this energetic misalignment, we'll call it. And, you know, you get to the point where it's like I said, you're not just like sick and tired, like I'm just over it, I'm done, but you're sick and tired to the point where it's enough is enough and I'm willing to do whatever it takes. So that's number 2. Number 3 is being resourceful. You're beginning to search. You're beginning to research. You're beginning to ask. Now you're beginning to ask the questions of, why is this happening? Why is such and such always happening to me? But not in a self-pity way. You're asking, why is this always happening to me, in a resourceful way, so that you can figure it out, so that you can begin to actually do something about it. Like, you're not in a self-pity way, but in a solution-based way. You want to know why it's happening so you can figure out what's to do. So that's number 3. You get to the point where you're beginning to search, you're being resourceful, and you're being open-minded. That's a very important part about that phase of getting ready. You're open-minded and your heart is open. You're open to the healing, you're open to the solutions. And just like I said, you're being resourceful about it. And when you getting the information back, or you're getting tidbits of information, you might not be all the way on that path yet, but you're getting the tidbits of information, then you're not rejecting it. That's the 3rd way to know you're probably ready to go ahead and get on that healing journey. The last one is the unlearning process. The 4th one and last one. Like I said, there's probably a lot more than this, but this is my 4 very quick ways, very sure ways to know that you're ready. And unlearning comes with clearing stuff out. because you're acknowledging that, okay, I've learned some things that just ain't quite right. I've learned some things that are not serving me. There are some ideas, some theories, things that I've picked up over time that do not go well with what I'm trying to do. They do not go well with the way I want to live. They do not go well with how my relationships play out. When you can acknowledge that and you're ready to clear out all that old information, that's the last way you know that you're really ready to jump on that healing journey, or at least begin the journey to figuring out how to become that higher version of yourself. And that unlearning process is oftentimes going to come with clearing things out. If you're still resistant to getting rid of things that aren't good for you, you might have to do some more convincing with yourself. Unfortunately, what might have to happen is you might have to go through some more tests and trials before you get to the point. That's the unfortunate part about most humans. We're human. We are human. And that's the reality. And it's the unfortunate part that you might have to go through some more tests and trials before you get fed up. A lot of people have to get to the point where they are fed up to really make a drastic change in their lives, to really go after healing, and to really acknowledge that, okay, it's something in me, it's something about my energy, it's something about my lack of self-worth or my lack of self-love. It's something there that is causing XYZ to play out in my life over and over like this. And unfortunately, a lot of people just gonna have to get to the point where they're just fed up. So you might have to go through some more tests and trials if you're still resistant to letting go of things that you know, matter of factly, are not serving you well. So that is just my 4 quick things to basically, it's like that's that pre-healing phase. Those are things that you can look for in yourself to basically know that, okay, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to at least begin to start learning and applying things so that I can change my life, so that I can improve myself for the better. So hope this was helpful. If it was, I'm going to post my live to YouTube. So like, share, follow, subscribe, do all the things. If it was a blessing to you, please like it or share it with somebody. And please make sure that you are subscribed, because this is just the beginning for me. Again, I am Queen Chef, chef, author, healer, chef by trade, writer by gift, and healer by nature. Thank y'all so much. Have a good one.